So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
All right, now we're live. Thank you, James. Appreciate you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ray Perez, coming to you from beautiful Miami, Florida, as you can see behind me. My face looks a little red. It's because I've been on the boat all day yesterday. So if you're in a cold state, I feel for you. Come visit me in Miami. We're going to have a lot of fun right now. That's my number one rule is we're going to have fun. So tune in, pull out some paper, some pen, your notepad, your cell phone, because you're going to take a lot of notes. And this is going to be very interactive. So if you are live on Facebook, if you are on YouTube and all the different channels that we're streaming live on, I want to make sure that you give me some comments in the chat. I want to make sure you give me some feedback. So I see Capitoria, I see, let's see, Deborah, I see Sheen. So if you're there, just say hi, Ray. Send me a little chat, whether you're on Facebook or anywhere. I want to see you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen in just a moment. But what we're going to be talking about today is the power of personal branding. More importantly, how you can leverage the power of your own personal brand to attract more leads, more sales, more referrals, and impact more people in the world. So there we go. Hey, Sheen, how are you? Hey, Capitoria, I see you as well. Katina, I see you. So if you're just joining us, Cynthia, how are you? I'll make sure to say hello as you're joining. Just give me a little hi, Ray, so I know you're with me. There we go. Hey, Capitoria, great seeing you as well. All right. So now, let me see something here. Let me turn this around. Cool, there we go. Awesome. All right, let me see if you can share my screen right here. Screen one, yes, and share my audio. All right, there we go. Let's bring this. Can we bring my screen into the, there we go. Thank you for that, tech team. Let's give it a round of applause to our tech team because Brian's just been killing it for us for the last 3 days. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you very much, my friend. Okay, so become a recognized expert, an authority in your niche, your industry, and attract more leads and referrals for your business. How many of you want to attract more leads, more referrals, and grow your business? Drop me in the chat. See Deborah. I see Deborah does. I see Sheen does. All right. And let me see here. Let's go next. I got 3 monitors. So if I look to the side, I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just looking at my 3rd monitor. And I got something really cool in my presentation. Not sure if you noticed, but I got closed caption at the bottom. So I want to be conscious about this. There's folks out there that are hearing impaired. So I just made it kind of part of my process whenever I do a presentation to have that at the bottom as well for those that might not have the blessing that God has given us to be able to hear. And even if you're in a place where you can't be listening, at least you can be reading it. So hopefully that's helpful for everyone. So let's do a quick little fun exercise. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely horrible to 10 being the best in the world, can't get any better, what would you rate your online personal brand? So go ahead and drop that in a comment wherever you're tuning in from. What would you rate your personal brand from 1 to 10? I'm very interested to see that because over the next 35, 45 minutes, my goal is to increase that number by several. What I'm going to teach you in a moment is not only how to increase your brand presence to attract more leads and more referrals, but to build a more profitable network. And most importantly, get paid more for what you do. That's right. Just imagine doing the exact same thing that you're already doing, but getting paid more money for it. That's exactly what you can achieve by having a personal brand that is more credible, has more authority, has more trust, and more people will be attracted to you. And I'm going to share exactly how to do that in just a moment. Now, first off, I want to know if you agree with this statement, okay? Business is built on relationships. If you agree, please drop it in the chat. Let me know that you agree. But I agree, Ray. Right? Business is built on relationships. We don't meet someone and just try to sell them something, right? That would be unnatural. That would be uncomfortable. And we all know the saying, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So consider the fact that instead of trying to sell your product or service, if we would focus on building relationships with people and build that connection, build that value, build that trust, build that sense of relationship and connection, wouldn't they want to do business with you opposed to a competitor if they feel connected to who you are and what you do? Doesn't that make sense? Right? So my good friend Zig Ziglar, been passed for a little while, but he was absolutely amazing, great mentor of mine. He talks about if people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, they'll do business with you, right? You need to build trust. You need to build credibility. You need to position yourself as an expert within your niche or industry so that people want to do business with you. Does that make sense, everyone? I see the I agrees in the chat. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Capitoria. Thank you, Billy. All right. So my good friend, Mr. Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon, this is what he says is branding. And I absolutely love it. And I've been using this for many years. And I want you to use it the same. Branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So think about that for a moment. What are they saying? Are they saying good things? Are they saying bad things? Are they saying anything at all? Because whether you like it or not, you have a personal brand. The question is this: are you going to allow the world to dictate your personal brand? Or are you going to control what the world sees? And that's what I'm going to share with you in just a moment, exactly how you can do that. Before we do that, if you haven't already, connect with me. Get connected on Instagram. Follow me at rayperez360.com. That's Ray with an E. It's Spanish. It means king. If you didn't know that, now you got a new Spanish word that you just learned. So follow me at rayperez360.com on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you guys. And just a little bit about me before we get into things. You know, I've been featured on Forbes. I've been featured in Entrepreneur, Fox, CBS, NBC, all the major news channels, and some of the work that I've been doing over the years with entrepreneurs and business owners just like you. I've published a few books, Cracking the Celebrity Code, one of my favorite books. If you haven't gotten a copy, make sure that you do so. You can do that from my 360 site, rayperez360.com. There's a little icon that says book. You guys can click on it and get this on Amazon. This will teach you step by step how to build a celebrity brand. And I'm going to go over some of the topics in this book during this presentation, but this will actually give you the guide exactly how to do it. So make sure you get a copy of that. I also have a talk show. It's called Today's Premier Experts. It's available on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick. I've had some amazing guests on my show, like Les Brown, Kevin Harrington, Jeffrey Hazlett. Actually, I'm going to publicly invite Mr. James Dentley to be on my show now that I'm speaking at his event. You need to be on my show, my friend. I'm inviting you in front of everybody. So we want to see you on season 3. One of my passions is philanthropy. We have a nonprofit organization called influencewithlove.org. It's where we work with underprivileged youth. We teach them entrepreneurship skills and we mentor them. So if you've ever wanted to be give back or just be a part of a nonprofit organization that works with kids, specifically in the entrepreneurship space, and we're always looking for mentors. We're looking for people to donate their time, talent, or treasure. You can go to influencewithlove.org, or you can go to my 360 site, rayperez360.com, and it's there as well, so you guys can connect and support a great cause. I also have a podcast called Today's Premier Experts, where I interview different celebrities and experts in all different areas of business. It's just really about how and what they did to be successful. And the reality is a lot of their failures are what has gotten them to be successful. So keep in mind, failure is important to get to success. And that's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and all that kind of stuff. I'm also a former fitness model. In the cover of a Challenge magazine a few years ago, I did a competition and I won. So that was kind of fun. And, you know, what I really care about is teaching people how to leverage their personal brand. Why? Because personal branding increases your sales. Because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. We already know that. The question is, how do we create a brand that people will like, know, and trust faster? And more importantly, how they can like, know, and trust you without you even being part of the process, meaning you've never met them. Because we live in a digital economy. If you haven't noticed, technology has advanced, right? And we live in a world where we can connect digitally, live, like we're doing right now, or we can connect through video, through social media, without having to be live in a capacity that allows other people to get to know you, to build a relationship with you, to feel connected to you, even though you have never met them before. So really start thinking about, what does it look like for me to have a personal brand in the world that people can connect with 24/7, 365, no matter where they live? That's the power of what's available to you right now. So let's see here. Now I'm going to teach you how to build a personal brand. Okay, so here we go. This gentleman is Ronald McDonald. I think most of you know him, right? He is the personality of McDonald's, right? You guys know this. You've seen him around for years. Now, when McDonald's first opened, they didn't have Ronald McDonald as the face of the business, okay? But there was a competitor, another hamburger establishment that was taking large market share from McDonald's. Now, this other competitor had their owner and founder as the face of the business. Does anyone happen to know what establishment that hamburger establishment was? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the, if you know. Yep, that's right. Mr. Dave Thomas from Wendy's. Wendy's had its owner and CEO and founder as the face of the business. Even to today, when you walk into Wendy's, you're going to see a big poster with Dave Thomas holding his fries, smiling, just like you see him right there. And he named the establishment after his daughter, Wendy. So this is a great example of how a person can actually help sell a product or service more. And that's why McDonald's brought out Ronald McDonald. Here's another example. Ladies, do you know who J-Lo is? Or gentlemen, do you guys know who J-Lo is? Probably, right? J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, has several different perfumes. This is just one of it called Glowing. And I was so surprised to find out that J-Lo didn't actually invent her own perfume. Like, I could have sworn she'd be in the laboratory with the big glasses on, right? And the lab coat, like smelling, ooh, I don't like that one. Ooh, I like this one, right? But that's not how it happened. Some marketing people got with her PR agency and said, hey, we have this scent. We'd like to put J-Lo's name on it and sell it under her brand. And they sold millions and millions of dollars of this scent. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that this exact same smell would have sold the same amount without J-Lo's name on it? Drop it in the chat. Do you think they would have sold the same amount? No, absolutely not. Why not? Why does putting J-Lo's name on the perfume sell millions more than if that same exact smell did not have her name? Why is that? Because she's a celebrity. That's right. Because people like, know, and trust her. They have connection. They have relationship. Some people, I'd go far enough to say, love her, right? And then they're going to buy something because she's connected to it. So I want you to consider, how is it possible that a woman helps sell more perfume? A product, right? It's not even a service. It's a physical product. And keep in mind, they have to pay her a lot of money. So that means they have to sell so much more perfume just to pay her to be the endorsement of that perfume. Does this make sense? Okay, stay with me on this. Does everybody know this brand? Nike, right? In Latin America, they call it Nike, by the way. I have a couple people from Colombia on my team, and they call it Nike. But it's Nike here in the United States, and this is a worldwide brand. Everybody knows Nike, right? This is probably one of the most recognized logos on the planet. But if I asked you, what do you think is the best-selling Nike of all time? What would you say it is? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. If you have any idea, if you think you know, what is the best-selling Nike of all time? Drop it in the chat. Yep, that's right. The Jordans, or the Michael Jordans, or the Air Jordans, but nobody ever says Nike Jordans. And I've been doing this for years in front of thousands and thousands of people. Nobody has ever even used the word Nike. And at this point, if I'm not mistaken, Jordan has his own line of shoes. I don't think he's even with Nike anymore. Or maybe they're under still the Nike brand, but they're just Jordan. It's like Nike doesn't even exist. It's just Jordan. So I'm going to ask you the question. Think to yourself, why is it that a man can help sell more tennis shoes? And I mean, we're not talking a little bit more tennis shoes. We're talking a lot more tennis shoes, right? And if you didn't know this, Nike paid Michael Jordan millions of dollars to be the spokesperson for Nike. So how many pairs of Nike shoes does Nike need to sell to make millions of dollars to pay Michael Jordan and then still have a profit? So what I want you to get from all of this is that people buy from people that they like, know, and trust. The more credibility, the more trust, the more relationship, the more authority, or the more celebrity status that that individual has, the more likely that people are going to buy and they're going to spend more money. So the true question is, how do you become a celebrity in your niche, in your industry? How do you become the Michael Jordan? Oops, hold on. There we go. How do you become the Michael Jordan of your company? Start thinking about this for a second. Because if we already know that the large multi-million, billion-dollar corporations that sell products and services pay people like J-Lo or like Jordan to represent their brand because they understand that they will sell more because people connect to a person more than they do a company, why wouldn't you become the J-Lo or Michael Jordan of your brand and increase your personal brand to celebrity status so more people will be attracted? And guess what? You could sell more and you can make a bigger impact in the world. Does this make sense to everyone? Are you still with me? So I see Billy. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Sheen. Thank you, Katina. See you guys on there. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, right? I'm not Michael Jordan. He's a celebrity. I'm not J-Lo. What does this have to do with me? Well, here's the thing. You can become the recognized authority or quote unquote celebrity in your niche or industry. You can do that. And the reason why you can is because celebrities are not born, they're made. Okay? Now, for me to explain to you how a celebrity is made, first we need to understand what is a celebrity. Okay? So write this down. A celebrity is a mental concept of another individual. There's no real thing as a celebrity. A celebrity is a person that other people see to have higher perceived value. Write that down. It is a person that other people in their mind feel that this person has a higher perception of value. Therefore, they are considered a celebrity. Okay? Now, I have figured out the formula of how to create a celebrity, which is the reason I wrote the book, Cracking the Celebrity Code. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to crack that code and how that formula works. But I also want you to understand what are the benefits when you create this celebrity personal brand. Why would you want to invest in yourself? Okay? Because becoming the recognized authority in your niche or industry will allow you to do the following. Maximize your brand presence across all your digital and social media platforms. It'll build more authority. It will increase your revenues and it'll attract higher paying clients. You'll get paid more because of who you are, not just because of what you do. And you'll impact millions with your personal brand message, which in the end of the day, that's really what the goal should be. It's not about how much money we make, it's how many lives we impact. The money's just a meter, it's just a gauge to see, to show you what it is that you're really doing in the world. Now, I have a question. Why don't all entrepreneurs have a world-class personal brand? Or more importantly, why do you not have a world-class personal brand yet? Write in the chat, why not? I can tell you, after 15 years in the industry, I've narrowed it down to 3 reasons. Time, money, and I don't know how. Those are the top 3 reasons that I've seen from all of the speaking engagements I've done all over the world. Now, the third one is going to be out the window after this presentation because I'm going to teach you how. Now, whether you have the capabilities to do it, that's a whole different story, but you will know how. Time is relative because you can make the time for something that's important enough for you. Because when people say, I don't have the time, well, if a close family member, knock on wood, this never happens, but gets into a car accident, can you make the time to go see them in the hospital? Of course you can, because it's that important to you. So I want you to consider how important is your personal brand. And up until now, it might not have been that important because you didn't understand the value. You didn't understand that if you could become this celebrity in your business, how you could expand, how you can grow, how you can increase revenues and sales. And money's just an excuse. And I'll tell you why. You don't have to have the money. You have to be committed to doing it, and then you will find a way to get the money. The problem is most people don't have enough commitment. They want to do something, they would like to, but they're not fully committed. Therefore, they won't do what they have to do to be able to figure out how to get the resources to do what they're committed to. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to question, what is your commitment? Because based on that will directly lead to your success. Now, one of the reasons why I created the Entrepreneurs Agency, the EA stands for Entrepreneurs Agency, and this is my team, by the way. Just want to always acknowledge them because I wouldn't be where I am without my team. You guys see me on the front, you may, Ray Perez this, Ray Perez that. In the end of the day, I owe so much to the people that you're looking at right now. And every single one of these individuals has a different expertise in a different area, whether it's video, whether it's graphic design, whether it's photography, copywriting, social media, funnel building, web design, app development. I can keep going on. I have 17 people on my team. Everybody has a different special niche where they're an expert in. And the reason I created this is because I have an event called Celebritize Your Brand in 2 days, where we teach entrepreneurs just like you how to create a celebrity brand to attract more leads and more sales. Now, during this event, we have my entire team supporting you. So I have experts to speak on different areas of personal branding, because the one thing I've discovered is there is no one stop, one shop. There isn't one person that knows everything. And when I say that I'm a branding expert, and really I am the #1 global branding expert according to Google. And if you want to check it out wherever you're at, on your phone or your computer, type in Google, global branding expert, and see who's the #1 that pops up. It's going to be me. And that's 100% organic. I've never paid for anything. And the reason I share this with you is not to boast or to show off, but it's to teach you that I practice what I preach. And everything that we teach in this Celebritize Your Brand in 2-day experience, along with my entire entrepreneurs agency, are ways on how you can do the exact same thing. So, like I said before, celebrities are made, not born. And where are they made? They're made at Celebritize Your Brand in 2 days. So if that's something that you guys would like to do, you can go to celebritizeyourbrand.com and you can register for our event. But don't do it right now. Wait till the end of my presentation, because for those of you that are listening, I'm going to give you a very special code that you can use, because I want to support my good friend James Dentley and this amazing event, Limitless 2021, and all the other speakers. And I want to do something special for those of you that are participating in this event and listening. So you can go to celebritizeyourbrand.com. It's at the bottom of the screen, but just hold it open and wait for me to give you the promo code. So when I do, you guys can leverage that and join myself and the Entrepreneurs Agency and our next event. Now, how many of you guys like free gifts? Let me see. Drop it in the chat. Yes. Yeah, I see Capitoria likes free gifts. I see Katina likes free gifts. Billy. So if you like free gifts, it's really simple. I'm just going to invite you to follow me on Instagram, like I asked earlier. Go to Ray Perez 360, and I'm going to actually pick a winner from the people who follow me today. And I will message you, or my team will actually message you directly, and we're going to give you a little prize just for doing that. I just appreciate you guys being a part of this. I like to always contribute back to my good friend James. So if you follow me on Instagram today, one of you guys is going to win a little special surprise. So just do that when you get a moment. All right. So as promised, how do you build a celebrity personal brand? Okay. Have your pen out. Be ready to write this down. This is my secret sauce. This is my formula. This is what I wrote the book on, how to build a celebrity personal brand. And here it is. What they see, what they hear, what they read about you, multiplied by multiple exposures over time. I'm going to repeat that one more time. What they see, what they hear, and what they read, multiplied by the amount of exposures over time. See, this is why social media is so powerful, because they can see, they can hear, and they can read. Videos, photos, and text posts. All of that is what social media consists of. So when you take that content, videos, photos, and text, and you multiply it by multiple exposures. Exposures is how many times you're in front of someone. And if you guys were listening to our previous speaker, Angel Tusi, she is one of the best at getting exposure. What she specializes is taking a personal brand and getting it out into the world so they get more eyeballs. This is what you need once you've built your brand. You need exposures, but you need multiple exposures, and you need it consistently over time. The time is the biggest factor. You can go crazy going to the gym for 1 week, and you can work out 2 times a day super hard. And what will happen if you stop after that? You're not going to see the results, because consistency over time is the key to true success in anything. So we're going to go over see, hear, and read in just a moment, because these are the 3 pillars of building a personal brand. And as promised, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So these are the 3 pillars: verbal identity, visual identity, and value identity. Okay? These are the areas that we must work on to build an effective personal brand. So let's start with the first one, verbal identity, which in my opinion is the most important, because in marketing, language is the #1 most important part. That could be language on a website. It could be language in a copywriting funnel. It could be an email. It could be a text message. It could be a written letter that you send out. Copywriting, language is the most important. When it comes to personal branding, there are 2 pieces of language that I believe are the most valuable in building your personal brand. The first one is your expert title. This is who you are in the world, but more importantly, why are you valuable? The second is a USP, stands for unique selling proposition, and it's what benefits do you provide for them? And when I say them, I'm talking about your prospective clients or customers, your audience. What is the value you bring to the table? So by having a good expert title and unique selling proposition, the world can know who you are, why you're valuable, and what you'll do for them. Because in the end of the day, write this down, they don't care what you do. They just care about what you can do for them, right? TGIF, right? All right. So next is our visual identity, okay? Visual identity is what they see, right? What they see, the colors you use, the photo you have, all of the visual elements is comprised within the visual identity. Now, there's many moving parts to this, and I don't have time to get into it right now. This is what we do during our Celebritize Your Brand in 2-day event. It takes 2 days for me to go over all of this, but you get to see here across all the different medias, consistency, right? Here's another one, consistency with the visuals. Consider the fact if you went to your favorite neighborhood supermarket, when you go to that same supermarket in a different city, it's relatively the same. You know, the logo's the same, the setup of the supermarket's the same. But imagine you went somewhere to the same supermarket and all of a sudden the logo on the sign was a different color, right? And you're like, wait a second, is this the same? It's the same name, but it's a completely different color you've never seen before. And then you walk into the store and everything is organized in a different fashion. How would you feel if you went to your usual grocery store, the sign is a different color and the place is all out of order? How would you feel? Confused? A little bit disoriented? A little bit disturbed? Well, I just want you to understand, this is exactly how you make your audience feel when you have a picture on LinkedIn, a different one on Facebook, a different cover image on your Twitter, on your YouTube, on your Instagram, and nothing's consistent. They feel confused. They feel unsure. They feel a little bothered. And this will directly affect your success in your results. And I want you to understand something. No one is going to call you and tell you, I just checked out your Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you're not consistent on any of them. I'm really unsure about you, and I'm a little confused, so I don't think I'm going to do business with you. No one's going to do that. But let me tell you, the same way you would feel in that grocery store, that's the same way you're making your audience feel. So if there's one thing you do right now, when I finish this presentation, is you go update all your social medias and you make sure that they're consistent, okay? Next is our value identity. And in my opinion, even though verbal identity is the most important, value identity, I believe, is the most important when it comes to long-term results. The verbal is going to get them right away, it's going to engage them, but value is going to keep them in. Why? Because, right, time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can get more time. So having good value identity allows people to connect with you faster, allows them to build this relationship and this rapport that we need. We can't spend too much time for them to have to get to know you. So having your value identity in your personal brand up front allows people to create that connection in a shorter amount of time. Therefore, they feel more comfortable, number one, to listen to what you have to say. Number two, to engage and potentially work with you. And number three, and most important of all, it makes them want to introduce you to other people. Why do they want to introduce you to other people? The answer is because you make them look good. If you have a celebrity brand, if you look like a rock star, if you look like a trustworthy, credible authority, people who know you, people who like, know, and trust you will want to refer you. They'll want to introduce you. And they do it because, not only because, but a big factor is because you make them look good. Just imagine if you had an opportunity to meet your favorite celebrity, whichever that person is. You have an opportunity to meet with them. Would you share with your friends and families and people you know that you met this celebrity? Would you tell them, if you had an opportunity to invite people, would you invite them to see you with this celebrity crush of yours? Absolutely, of course you would. Why? Because that celebrity makes you look good in the eyes of all your peers and everyone that you know. And we always want to contribute and give back to people. So if we have something of value and we know this person can benefit someone that we know, not only are we going to do it because it makes us look good, we're going to do it because we know that we're providing value to this person. And if we provide value to this person, first of all, it's helping them. But second of all, they're going to be grateful to us. They're going to be like, hey, thank you, Sheen. Thank you, Katina. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much for that introduction. They're going to be grateful to you because you made that introduction. This is probably one of the most fascinating ideas and concepts that I was able to discover through this personal branding process. I get so many introductions from people because I make them look good, because I have a celebrity brand. When people look at my Instagram, they're like, oh my God, he's got over 300,000 followers. Who is this guy? When they look at my videos, they're like, and the reality, all it is, in the end of the day, it's just higher perception of value based on what they see, what they hear, and what they read about me. And they can do the exact same thing for you. I'm not special. I've been blessed by God to be able to figure this out. After 15 years of being in the branding and marketing business, I finally figured out how I could personally leverage everything I was doing for companies and businesses. And it all happened because I started to become a speaker and do what I did and doing right now. I just realized that if I'm going to speak to an audience, I need to invest in who I am. And I also learned that there was much more power in elevating, because people would want me to go speak somewhere else. Now I get paid to speak. People pay me to go speak at events because of who I am, not just because of what I do. So consider the fact, what would it be like to have raving fans all over the world? Like, this is one of the events that we did the other day. All these individuals didn't know me before, but they've seen me digitally. They've built a relationship with me. They attended our Celebritize Your Brand in 2 days. This was our event that we had, I think, two days ago, actually. This was our event. And so many people from all over the world building that connection, building that trust digitally. This is what you can do for yourself and your brand. This is how you can grow your business in a capacity that no one else has ever seen when they're just focused on their business. Focus on building relationships and focus on building them with a trustworthy, credible, personal brand that will lead the charge for people to be able to connect with you and share you. This is the secret sauce, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I figured out a few years ago, and this is what's transformed my business. I've tripled my company in the last 3.5 years. Tripled. That's 100% growth in 3 years. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger because there's something called the compound effect. Once that snowball starts rolling faster and faster and faster, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's the same thing in business. Velocity, speed. Business loves speed. And once you get that going, it starts to grow and grow and grow. And it's only been, I say 3 years, because I didn't really start investing in my personal brand like I'm teaching you until 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years at this point. So it's very fresh, even though I've been doing branding and marketing for over 15 years. So you could do the same thing. And, you know, one of the reasons I stress this out to you is because the time's going to pass no matter what you do. It's going to go by, whether you invest in your brand or you don't. The one thing I want you to be aware of is this. If you don't take action now, you will fall behind your competition. And you will experience what I refer to as the blockbuster effect. You know what the blockbuster effect is? It's when you don't stay up with the times, you don't stay up with technology, and when someone tells you exactly what you can invest in and you don't do it, and then a few years later, you're completely out of business. Because Blockbuster was able to buy Netflix for $50 million, and they turned it down because they didn't think everyone would watch movies from home. And now they're completely out of business. And the problem is this: time is the biggest separator of success, because it takes too long to catch up once someone has invested and built a technology, a system, and a process. It took me years to get to where I'm at on Instagram. It's probably going to be nearly impossible for anyone else to do what I've done unless they start investing right now. And when I say investing right now, I mean you need to do all the things that I'm telling you, the verbal, the visual, the value, and really need to implement ASAP. It's going to be very difficult to catch up with the competition. And here's the thing. Some of you might have experienced this already. And if you have, just drop it in the chat. And nothing against millennials, nothing against the younger generation, but these younger folks will put together a really great looking personal brand online, and they'll call themselves an expert, right? In whatever niche or industry that they decide to be in. First of all, they don't even have a year of experience. They have very little background knowledge, but they've positioned themselves in a way that visually, right, verbally, in the world, they're positioned as this quote unquote expert. Well, that individual will most likely get the business, get your business, and you will lose that potential client. And they'll probably give bad service, and they'll probably ruin the reputation of all their competitors, including myself. If you've experienced this and you know what I'm talking about, then I want you to really consider, it's not just your competition you're up against. It's up people that are not even really your competition, but they understand what I'm teaching you. The younger generation gets that it's all about perception is reality. And they are very good at creating that perception. And even though they might not deliver, they'll still get the customer before you will. And it saddens me to say this, but it's the truth. So my encouragement is, if you're listening to me, if you're understanding the concept that I'm sharing with you, then take action and join us at our next event, Celebritize Your Brand, in 2 days, because we're going to teach you how you can stay up to date and not experience a blockbuster effect. Now, before I wrap up, one of the things that I teach inside our Celebritize Your Brand in 2-day event is to create introductions and not referrals. Why? The word referrals is very sales related, and people don't want to be sold to, even though they like to buy. So I encourage you to replace the word with referrals with introductions. See, I don't want you to refer anyone to me. I want you to introduce me to someone that you know that can benefit from my services. And if you're open to making that introduction, I'm going to give you exactly the script and the process of how to introduce them to me, because that's part of what we teach inside our event. Because the language you use, the visuals that you use, and the process that you have them take action on will directly affect the results that you receive. So what I'm going to do for you guys right now, open up celebritizeyourbrand.com. Do it right now. It's at the bottom of the screen. It's at the top. Use the promo code SAVE NOW. And instead of paying $997, you're only going to pay enough for us to cover our costs, which is $97. You must use the promo code SAVE NOW. Otherwise, you'll be paying $1,000, which I'm okay with if you'd like to do that. We always appreciate it. but use the code SAVE NOW and you're only going to pay $97. Now, in addition to that, when you enroll, we have a second event the day after, okay? Celebritize Your Brand is 2 days, and the third day is another event called the Marketing Implementation Bootcamp. Now, I don't have a slide for that, but basically what we do is we teach you how to implement all the concepts that we teach you within the 2-day event. Now, that one typically sells for $1,500. When you use this promo code on the next page, you will have the opportunity to enroll in the Marketing Implementation Bootcamp for only $147. So my encouragement is enroll in both because the promo code works for both events. And they're back to back. Next one's going to be April 21st to the 23rd. And then we have them every other month if you can attend that one. And the best part is we're going to give you the digital course up front so you can start watching it tomorrow before you attend the live event. Okay, so make sure to take action now. Use the promo code SAVE NOW so that you can get it for only $97. Now, let me share with you a few of our success stories. This is one of our clients, Michael Veronero. He is a real estate agent, but after working with us, he is a real estate investment specialist. And his USP is investing in the relationships as much as in the properties. Safia Barada, she was a personal trainer. Now she's a healthy, fit lifestyle coach. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Alex Ocampo, he used to just say, I build websites. Now he's a website and app development specialist, increased performance and productivity with innovative IT solutions. This is just a couple examples of how we craft these personal brands. A few testimonials. My good friend Kevin Harrington from the hit show Shark Tank. Ray only puts on first-class events. He impresses me every single time. This is my good friend. Also, Jeffrey Hazlett from the C-Suite Network. Ray's a top performer, only delivers the best for his clients. Mr. Les Brown. Ray is a true professional, and it's always a pleasure working with him. And, oh, there we go. I do. The marketing action plan. This is really important. You're going to receive a step-by-step plan of action. That's why it's called the Marketing Action Plan within our event, the Marketing Implementation Bootcamp, which will give you all the systems, all the processes, all the softwares, all the technologies, everything that I've been using for the last 15 years. We have it all broken down in a PDF format with videos, and we'll be going over the entire Marketing Action Plan on that third day. So you don't just learn how to build your brand, you actually learn how to use it in your marketing. This is the biggest difference, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter how good you look or sound if you don't know how to effectively use it in your marketing, in your promotions, in your live events, in your digital events, in your social media, on your podcasts, on your radio shows, on your talk shows. I can keep going on and on. Implementation delivers results. Knowledge is power, but knowledge implemented is power. And that's why we have the Marketing Implementation Bootcamp the day after. Okay, so I want to leave you with this. Perception is reality. I love to use an example with cars because I don't know if you guys know me well or not, but I love cars. I got a green BMW i8 with the butterfly doors. I have an orange Aston Martin. I'm looking to get a Bentley Bentayga now. I just love cars. That's my passion. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I waste my money on cars. That's what I like to do, right? So if we're walking through a parking lot and we see a Honda and a Toyota, you just keep walking, right? You don't really think of anything of it. If you see a Mercedes or a BMW, you might take a glance at it. But if you see an Aston Martin or a Ferrari, what do most people do? They stop, they look, maybe take a picture, maybe even a selfie, right? Why? Why do we do that? And the answer is simple, because perception is reality. And the higher perception that you have in the eyes of the person that's looking, the more attracted people will be. The same way that people are attracted to very expensive, fancy cars, and they're going to stop and look and they're going to observe, it's the same way they're going to stop and look at your personal brand once you've celebritized it. once you've built this super in alignment, trustworthy, credible brand. And I believe what we do in the Entrepreneurs Agency is we build exotic brands for our clients, high level, right? Bentleys, Ferraris. We don't deal with Mercedes and Hondas and Toyotas. Not that there's anything wrong with it. The difference is how people will react to it. And I've gotten to a point in my career where I know exactly what people need to really shift their success to the next level. And that's why I encourage you to join us at our next event. Also, like I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to support our nonprofit organization, Influence with Love, that's one of my greatest passions. So when you do attend our event, celebritizeyourbrand.com, you will be supporting our nonprofit organization, and I'll be teaching you how you can actually get involved. So even if you don't do it just for yourself, do it for the good cause. It's only $97. Do it to support and give back to the kids, because that's the most important thing. That's why we're here. That's what we should be doing. Okay. And I'm going to leave you with this last thought. Are you a hunter or a fisherman? Right? What does a hunter do? Hunter goes out and he's always looking for his prey, right? Always looking for the next kill. If you're a business person or an entrepreneur, you're looking for that next leader for the next sale, right? What does a fisherman do? Drops the bait, sits back, and waits. Maybe he has a beer, right? Depends. But the bait is you. You need to celebritize yourself. Become that shiny, sparkling attraction for others so that they come to you and you don't have to sit there and sell. And I'm going to quote my good friend Raymond Aaron. When I was speaking at an event with him in Jack Canfield, he said this, and I'll never forget it, and I use it at every event, and I want you to write this down. He said, the job of the sales department is to sell. The job of the marketing department is to get rid of the sales department. And the job of the branding department is to get rid of the marketing department. And what that means is this: without good marketing, without good branding, you will always be selling. And no one wants to be sold to. With good marketing, you won't sell. With good branding, you'll attract them to you. You'll not only sell more than you've ever had before, you'll be able to charge more than you've ever had before. So I leave you with this. Connect with me on any of my social medias through rayperez360.com. You can also click the contact button. You can send me a text with your best name and email, and I'll make sure to keep you up to date with all the different things that we have going on. But I'm going to encourage you guys to jump into that link below, celebritizeyourbrand.com. Use the promo code SAVE-NOW so that we can be together in April for our upcoming event, Celebritize Your Brand in 2 days. That's all the time I have, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this. I want to thank Mr. James Dentley, my good friend, my mentor. Thank you for having me and being a part of this. Thank you, sir.
And thank you as well, man. I want to thank you, Ray, for being up and showing up big as you always do. I want to let you know that we're actually streaming through our player, and then we're feeding on through Facebook and YouTube as well. But on the player, we've got over 500 people plugged into the player. So people are really loving it. They can't respond to that. It's like watching television set. But they're loving the message, man. And I'll tell each and every one of you guys that when you have great branding, then your salespeople become order takers. And that's what it is. All they do is take the order, answer a question, sign it. So, man, congratulations. Again, Ray Perez, Ray60.com. Contact Ray and go to celebritizeyourbrand.com and work with Ray. He's not only a friend, he's a partner, and we're a fellow motive advisors.
Thank you, James. Love you, my friend. God bless. Bye, everyone.